I'm coming at you live on tape from Sydney, Ohio. I know I'm sitting in a weird position. And today we are doing the first Ernest movie. No, not Ernest Goes to Camp. Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Machine. This is the first movie Ernest appeared in. He appears at the beginning and he appears at the end. He is not the star of the movie, though, but Jim Varney is. Ernest appears at the beginning saying he traded for a machine that can change you while talking to Vern. Now, mind you, we never get to see Vern. I think we did get to see him in one episode of Hey Vern, It's Ernest. And he changes. And then we meet Dr. Otto and the Gloom Machine. Dr. Otto explains job is to destroy banks and credits. And he fires it at Cincinnati, of course. Who else? Who else would you fire a glue machine at? And destroy Cincinnati's economy. Cincinnati then he goes on the air and gives a riddle, which I did not write down and I do not know. But he says it's all made up. Just like Dr. Otto is, all made up. And appears on every screen, including an arcade machine, which, if Dr. Otto appeared on my arcade machine, I'd put more quarters in it. Then we meet our hero, Lance Sterling, who is then revealed that him and Dr. Otto were born in the same hospital on the same day, and Dr. Otto was always jealous of him until Dr. Otto blew up his parents. I don't mean blew up his parents, I gave them a blowjob. I mean like he actually blew up his parents. So Lance Sterling is trying to solve this riddle, and he thinks part of it is about Mr. Potato Head, until Dr. Otto uses his changing machine to change into Ruddy Hartack, a man who leads a mercenary squad of children and is ready to trap Lance Sterling and his secretary Doris when Lance Sterling walks into his camp. At which point they lock him in a cage and then invite him for a game of Russian roulette, which Lance uses to escape in a hail of gunfire. And then Lance and Doris continue walking, and Dr. Otto transforms into Captain Jack. I don't remember his last name. He's a pirate. And Dr. Otto leaves Lance Sterling tied up for the dump, who Lance just happens to know, and who frees Lance and brings him his double-door freezer that Captain Jack offered him as bait for the dump. Now Dr. Otto is getting annoyed, and he uses his own woman, Tina, as bait for Lance in a deadly situation, but Doris saves her at the last minute just for Lance to take the credit. Then we see signs in the woods for Auntie Nelda. Now, for those unfamiliar with Auntie Nelda, it is Ernest's famous character, Jim Varney's famous character of the black woman in the necklace. She is in this movie, and she poisons them, knocks them out with wine, and then leaves, and then says she's going to make them into zombie food. All except for Tina, who's working for her. And then Tina helps them escape with a some sort of blanket that makes him transport. Which blankets make me transport to weird dreams that have nothing to do with anything. I want to get these dreams translated at some point just to see how fucked up my mind is. Then Lance runs into Guy Dandy, who shoots lasers out his cane, and his woman has a Tommy gun. Which all women should have Tommy guns. It would make relationships much more interesting. Guy Dandy then sends him down to Dr. Otto's lab, where Dr. Otto and Lance have a final meeting. Doris faces his robot and defeats it, while Lance takes on personas of Hardtack, Captain Jack, Guy Dandy, and Auntie Nelda. While Dr. Otto sits the base up for a self-destruct, and then gets in his changing machine. Now Lance has the option of hitting the right button or the wrong button. And he does 1 potato, 2 potato to figure out which one. This is a guy who was going to be a senator. And as all senators know, the right choice and the wrong choice is a matter of how much money you have. He chooses the right button, but the base blows up anyways. And finally we see Lance, Tina, and Doris pushing the car to a gas station, where we see Ernest there, saying they have no gas. They haven't since the money ran out. And Ernest, after they leave, takes his hat off, revealing the hand that has been on Dr. Otto's head since the beginning. And so we all know Ernest is Dr. Otto. This is an extremely funny movie. I didn't do it any justice. It is family friendly. Take your kids, take your grandkids, take the monkey boy from the zoo next door. Show it to Batboy's son or Batboy's grandson, because Batboy's dead. I think they killed him in some stunt that Weekly World News did. Find Elvis, take him. This is a great movie. It's on YouTube. It's called Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam. Join me next week, where the wrestling show will be about Triple H and Scott Steiner's feud. And next week's movie will be the second worst thing Joss Whedon ever did, Alien Resurrection, which the worst thing he ever did would be treating people like shit. See you next week.